Welcome to the short introduction of Project Beyond the Sphere. We wanted to understand how adding depth and motion cues changes people's experience in panoramic VR. Normally, a 360-degree panorama is just a sphere around the viewer. It looks fine from a distance, but the ground usually feels flat, or even worse, no ground. You feel like floating. And there's no real parallax when you move. This limits how immersive or spatially informative the scene can be. To fix this, we tried a lightweight approach. First, we need to get the panorama. We generate RGBD panoramas using LDM 3D Pano. Then we added a simple floor depth overlay. First step is to present the panorama in Unity. We converted the panorama into a cube map, then running each face through a monocular depth estimator, and finally stitching the results back together. To bring back a believable ground plane, we reproject the bottom of the panorama onto a plane and shape it with the help of depth map. One issue that need to be noted is that we often saw a missing ring of ground content about halfway between the horizon and the nadir. This can be fixed by detecting the gap as a depth discontinuity and repairing it with an in-painting tool. Now in this scene, you will feel the ground and skybox is connected properly. We also introduced a short, predictable spinning parallax to add motion-based depth. The ground mesh shifts subtly depending on the viewer's motion. To evaluate the effect of floor-based depth cues and bounded motion parallax, we did a storytelling experiment in cinematic VR. The user study was ran with three conditions: A, baseline panorama only; B, panorama plus floor depth overlay; C, panorama plus depth overlay with parallax. Our main goal was to see whether these additions could improve presence and narrative understanding, while also keeping an eye on workload and cybersickness. We recruited 18 volunteers. The results were clear. Adding depth cues and parallax made the experience more immersive and improved how well participants understood and remembered the story. At the same time, the parallax condition did bring a slight increase in discomfort, highlighting that trade-off between engagement and comfort that VR designers know well. At the end of the experiment, we asked participants to rank the three conditions. For immersion and comprehension, the trend was clear. Flat ranked lowest, depth cues in the middle, and depth cues plus parallax was strongly preferred. For comfort, results were mixed. Some found flat most comfortable, others least. But overall, depth and parallax didn't add too much discomfort.